Hi, this is Salas with the Salas Group, and I'm here today to talk to you about buyer's contingencies, what they are and what they mean. But before we get into that, if you're looking for a home, visit my website at www.jesse.avantisandiego.com. And if you're looking to see what your home is worth, click on that home valuation tab. You'll get a good idea of what that home is worth. Okay, let's get back to contingencies. Contingencies essentially are a buyer's way to back out of the deal. In the state of California, you have multiple contingencies built into that residential purchase agreement. You want to make sure if you and the seller can't come to an agreement, you're able to back out of that contract and still get your earnest money deposit back. Those contingencies essentially are your legs to stand on, your way out, and keeping yourself whole at the same time. There are multiple contingencies, like I mentioned. But more importantly, the three or the few that I'm going to go over are the loan contingency, if you have a financed offer, most of us do, an appraisal contingency, and an investigation contingency. And a mortgage contingency, a loan contingency, is probably one of the easier ones. If for whatever reason, even if you have a pre-approval letter, sometime during that escrow period, the underwriter finds that there's a problem and your loan can't go through, you're going to go ahead and cite your loan contingency as far as backing out. In an appraisal contingency, if you and the seller, let's say you came to an agreement of a purchase price of $600,000 and the appraiser says the home is only worth $550,000, and you as a savvy buyer are not going to pay an extra $50,000 if the home is only worth $550,000, and for whatever reason you and the seller can't agree to a lower price, you're going to back out of that deal and you're going to cite your appraisal contingency. One of the stronger, and I think the most important contingency out there is your investigation contingency or your inspection contingency. That allows you to back out. If you find mold, if you find multiple items, multiple problems in the property, you're going to back out citing that inspection contingency. Now, I think the inspection contingency is the most important, and here's the reason why. Strategically, on a loan contingency, you have to have a loan that didn't go through. There has to be something that proves that the loan didn't go through. You can't just say it didn't go through and cite it. An appraisal, you have to make sure that the home didn't appraise for what that contract price is. But an inspection or an investigation contingency, there's a number of reasons why you can back out. Maybe you just didn't like the color of paint indoors. Now that's pretty petty, but you get my idea of where I'm going here. Now with those contingencies in the state of California, you have a certain time frame. You can't let those go throughout the entire escrow period. So for most of the contingencies, you have 17 days. Just recently, late last year, state of California pushed up the loan contingency to 21 days. The other important thing to keep in mind is those contingencies need to actively be lifted. Now, as you can see, this is your way out as a buyer, so a seller is going to want you to remove those as quickly as possible, so you have less room to back out. So you have to abide by those timelines. You have to make sure that that 17 or 21 days for the loan contingencies are abide by, that you respect the contract. You can always ask for an extension, but keep in mind you are going to have to actively remove them. And so if you happen to fall asleep, you and your real estate agent fall asleep on day 17 and you don't wake up, you hibernate for a full 24 hours, you don't wake up till day 18, well, don't worry. Your contingencies haven't just been lifted. You're going to have to actively lift them yourself. So these are very important. You want to make sure you respect the contract. You want to make sure you know what your contingencies are and your ways to use them strategically for yourself. Again, this is Jesse Salas, the Salas Group, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.